Just left the hotel. It's about 8 a.m. and let's go try and find some khao niao, sticky rice for breakfast. Maybe there's something here. Alright mate, do you have some khao niao? Bit of khao niao. He did have some khao niao. Alright, let's try and do a few more kilometers today. Yesterday did 80, today aim for like 120. Let's see how it goes. Interesting. Want to get straight out on the road to make the most of the time before it gets too hot. At the moment it's probably like 15 degrees, it's not very hot. Khao niao. and they have cows here. Kind of makes me think of Nandi, Shiva riding on Nandi's back. And these massive white lions, or whatever they are, all white. And it looks like there's a waterfall over there. Wonder if I can go take a swim. It's getting pretty hot. It's white on the outside, but inside it's pink. Interesting. Let's take a look up the stairs. Some guy chilling in there. I think I just saw a bat fly out. Take your little nap. Huh. So yesterday I talked about Vivek, the day before I talked about Kong, and today I'll talk a little bit about Sandeep. So these are the three people that I met around the Chiang Mai area, and they each had some kind of they each gave me some kind of inspiration or had some kind of lesson. So Kong, his lesson was just do something consistently. Don't be too focused on making it perfect. Just so long as you keep doing it consistently, that's the best. said that, or Vivek gave me this concept that it's important to take action now and have a plan and follow it, take it seriously. And all three of them, or especially Kong and Sandeep, had this feeling of like time importance, time pressure. So for example, Sandeep and I planned to motorbike from Pai to Chiang Mai, and we were going to set off at 7 a.m. After waking up, we'd set off at 7 a.m. And at like 2 minutes past 7, I kind of stumbled out of the hotel room. My bags weren't really packed yet, I hadn't cleaned my teeth yet, and I was thinking, oh, we'll set off in like 20 minutes, no problem. Sandeep's probably not ready yet. And I get outside and he's already on the motorbike with his helmet on saying, are we going? Let's go. And so completely different level of time management, time efficiency. And you know, this is really valuable. Sandeep definitely had a concept that time is money and we need to use it wisely and you know, be effective. So he was 20 and he works for his family's business, basically works for his brother and father, and they have like 4 clothing wholesale shops in Bangkok. So they buy sportswear in bulk from China, unbranded. They get the brand put on in Thailand, and then they sell in bulk to small shops, basically, small clothing stores. So they were doing this business in Myanmar for a long time. Then in 2021, the military coup happened and the war started. Sandeep's father sent Sandeep to northwest India, Manipur, to finish his high school. And he lived in India for a couple of years, brushed up his Hindi. I think he already spoke some Hindi, but got better at Hindi. And then he moved to Bangkok with his father and the family. They moved the business. So they had a shop somewhere in Myanmar, and then they sold it, bought one in Bangkok. And he definitely had this sense of time efficiency and doing business properly, doing business well. He was telling me about how his family purposefully gave him kind of a crap job in the business and paid him quite little, just to make him hate employment, so he ends up doing business rather than working for somebody else or being employed. And you know, so I enjoyed picking up some of his mindset around business, and we talked a lot about religion as well, because I mean he's Buddhist, but his family also kind of follow both Buddhism and Hinduism. They kind of mix the two, or they see them as like part of the same thing to some extent. His family are like originally Gurkhas, so they're like a few generations ago they were Gurkhas in Nepal, and now he lived in a Gurkha community in Myanmar. And we talked a lot about all sorts of things: business, religion, and the war in Myanmar. It sounds pretty awful what's happening. How like maybe he can, you know, to avoid being drafted into the army, you need to pay some money monthly, and some people can't afford it, and if they can't afford it, they have to go into the army. And he was saying that if you get drafted into the army, basically you're there for your whole life and you die there. He was saying that his brother was put into prison just for sharing a Facebook post which celebrated the birthday of the Prime Minister in Myanmar. So there's like the Prime Minister of the Democratic Party, and she's in opposition to the military dictatorship. And so his brother just shared one Facebook post about the birthday of the Prime Minister, and the police came to his house, arrested him and his mother, kept his mother in prison for 3 days, and he was in prison for 3 months. And eventually his father had to pay a large sum of money to get him out. And if his father couldn't afford it, he would have been there for a couple of years, maybe for 2 or 3 years. Just for one Facebook post. Can you imagine? It's insane. It's absolutely insane. He was saying in the past, before the war, in maybe a 20-kilometer section of road, there might have been a couple of checkpoints, military checkpoints. And now there's like 10 checkpoints, or many checkpoints. And each one you have to pay something to get through. Sounds like it's very corrupt. Everywhere, whatever you have to do, whatever you want to do something, you have to pay the bribe. For instance, to get his passport, he had to pay, I think it was like £200, like 300 US dollars. Forget what it is in England. Maybe it's like 50 or 100 pounds. But bear in mind, in Myanmar the currency is weaker, so £200 is a lot there. And you know, it made me consider the privileges that we have as British citizens. You know, that we don't get forced into the military until death do us part if we can't pay £500 a month, and that we can share Facebook posts about the Prime Minister's birthday without going to prison for 3 months and having to pay a large sum of money. But really the sort of the lesson that I got from Sandeep is just to really take time as being very valuable, and to consider time as like time as being money. Time is money. Because he didn't waste time. He never wasted time. Something I really noticed. There was no aspect of wasting time. And he would just kind of crack on with things. Which is something that I haven't been doing so far. You know, I sort of wake up, maybe I wake up at like 9, 10, 11, 12, 1 p.m. Think, what a nice day. I think I'll go for a coffee, some nice breakfast, and maybe make some notes in my journal. Take it easy. There's no rush. And then it gets to like 4 p.m. and I'm thinking, maybe I should get on my bike and start cycling a bit. It's a completely different attitude. I suppose in the business, in Bangkok, he has to get up in the morning, and if he doesn't show up, the family don't make money, and he loses out. The family loses out, and pressure's on him to do well for the family business. So it made me realize that I've been living in a situation where there's no real consequence to not being time efficient. You know, at the moment I'm enjoying a good deal of time freedom, and it's a wonderful thing to have time freedom. But you know, freedom is easily wasted. It made me realize, especially time freedom. You know, it's easy to spend 2 hours watching some random YouTube videos, or like just kind of not wandering around aimlessly. So it made me think that, really I should set some goals and sort of measure what I do against the goals that have been set. In this case, cycling to Bangkok, 100 kilometers a day. And for instance, yesterday I only did 80, so fell short. Still had a very efficient day, by usual standards. But because of the measuring against the goal, it can, really spur me on to be better today. And so Sandeep and I met very, very serendipitously. We both happened to be on the way up a big mountain in the forest. And just as I arrived, he showed up and he said, "Oh, are you trying to go up the mountain? It's 3 kilometers to the first checkpoint and then 3 more kilometers to the top." And just after 30 seconds of seeing each other, Sandeep and I looked at each other and thought, "Oh, should we go hike to the top? Yeah, why not? Why not?" It's kind of a serendipitous thing. And I really liked how Sandeep had a very positive mindset. He didn't seem to ruminate about anything. He just kind of got on with things and had a very positive attitude to life. Didn't think too much. Just got on with things. And so we walked up the mountain. It's quite a long walk in the end. I think it was something like 12 kilometers. And then we biked to Chiang Mai the next day. And then he showed me this Burmese restaurant in Chiang Mai where they had a tea leaf salad, which was quite interesting. So tea as in like tea, the drink, fermented leaves in a salad. So it's a caffeinated salad. And then he had to go back to Bangkok to work in the shop. Oh yeah. That's meditating with the Nagas. Some sort of Kundalini business. Ah. Looks pretty ferocious. And they all have these tubes coming out. Maybe, I wonder if it releases kerosene or something and makes fire. Cool. Oh yeah. This guy. And these ones. Yeah, so I did go for a little swim in the waterfall. Now I'm completely soaked and no longer too hot. So good time to get back on the road. like they're selling baskets and handcrafted stuff. Pestle and mortars. Many things, many things. And, oh, fried frogs on the stick. I don't know if you saw that. I didn't try those yet, they look pretty good. Aha! PTT station. Yeah, so we're 77 kilometers in. Seems like a reasonably good time to stop. I'm just wondering if it has a good Cafe Amazon. Yeah, that looks like a pretty new one. Try not to get hit by a fast car. So it's just coming to 2 o'clock. I reckon stay here like 2 hours. Cool off a bit. Okay, so it's already getting quite late. It's already 7:40 and it's completely dark. I got here at, what was it, like 1 p.m, 2 p.m? And I was only gonna stay for 2 hours. But it's one of those situations where like you have something to do, like some work to do, and whenever you go to do it, you end up doing something else because you keep putting it off. And I decided I'm not going to leave until I do it. So I'm still here. Had a long chat with my parents, which was good. Avery called and she found a kitten on the road with like some other woman found it first, and apparently this person couldn't take it because she already had 2 cats and they wouldn't accept it. So Avery took it home, and so now we have a kitten, which is interesting. Good. And I chatted to Roy a bit. These are all good distractions, but the point is I haven't actually got round to doing the thing I came here to do yet, and so I'm just gonna go sit over there, connect to the Wi-Fi, and just do it like in a minimal form, and eventually set off into the night. Maybe I was planning to do 120 kilometers. 77 so far. Am I really going to do 43 more kilometers? Let's see. All sorted. Now we're back on the road. It's about 11 p.m. That thing took way longer than expected. And we've still got some distance to cover. I'll probably just cycle until I get tired of it and then put the tent up somewhere. Not too late. I was planning on cycling 120 kilometers today, but with this 8-hour break, it's already 11 p.m. and I've only done 80, so I'm kind of tempted to bash out the 40 to get to 120, but then on the other hand, to avoid the heat of the day tomorrow, I should really wake up early. And for that, to be well rested, it would be better to sleep soon. So probably somewhere in the middle, maybe try and do 100. Just 20 more, and then sleep. So it's about midnight, and I just stopped at a PTT station, put the tent up. just did slightly over 100 kilometers.